Welcome everyone. Today we're here to discuss the current and future state of video consumption, specifically focusing on SVOD, subscription video on demand, AVOD, advertising video on demand, TVOD, transactional video on demand, and FAST, free ad-supported TV. We will hear from different perspectives: an end user, a content provider, a FAST advocate, a SVOD AVOD advocate. Let's get started with introductions. Katie, could you start? Then Marie-Therese, Deo, and Suk, thanks.
Sure, Anna. I'm Katie, an everyday consumer of video content. I subscribe to several streaming platforms, and I also use free platforms.
Hi everyone, I'm Marie-Therese, and I work for a major production house that provides content to various SVOD, AVOD, and TVOD platforms.
Hello everyone, I'm Deo. I'm a strong advocate for FAST platforms, which I believe offer a powerful alternative to traditional video consumption models.
Hi, I'm Suk. I work for a streaming company. While we acknowledge the potential of FAST, I must admit we have some reservations.
Excellent. Now that introductions are out of the way, let's dive into the first question. As consumers gravitate more towards streaming platforms, which model do you think will dominate in the future? Katie, let's start with you.
I love my SVOD services, like Netflix and Disney, but I also appreciate AVOD services when I'm looking for something different. Personally, I think there's room for both. However, I'm not a fan of TVOD. I don't like buying or renting individual movies or shows, if not for some sport events, maybe.
Our focus is to create great content that reaches the widest possible audience. Each model offers different opportunities for monetization. SVOD and AVOD are currently our main platforms, but we're exploring more partnerships with FAST platforms.
With FAST, consumers have access to a wide array of free content. For advertisers, FAST platforms are a gold mine because of the targeting capabilities. As more people cut the cord, I believe FAST is the future.
Well, Anna, while FAST has its merits, I think SVOD and AVOD models offer a better user experience. Advertisements can be disruptive. Besides, our data suggests that users are willing to pay for ad-free experiences.
Interesting points. Moving on to our next question. How do you think content discovery and personalization factor into these quite different models? Katie, let's start with you again.
For me, personalization is essential. SVOD services like Netflix do a great job with their recommendation algorithms, even if you have to put an effort into it sometimes. I've discovered some great shows that way. On the other hand, I've found it a bit harder to discover content on FAST platforms, and it brings me back to linear again.
From a content creation standpoint, personalization is key. We want our content to reach the right audience. SVOD and AVOD platforms provide that to an extent. We're still figuring out how to optimize programming and marketing on FAST platforms.
FAST platforms are making strides in improving their content recommendation systems. It's a challenge, but with advances in AI and machine learning, I'm confident we'll see more personalization in FAST soon.
In our experience, personalization is a major factor for retention on SVOD and AVOD platforms. Consumers expect personalized experiences, and I believe this is where FAST platforms might struggle.
Great insights. Let's shift gears a bit. What about the potential challenges or roadblocks for these models? Katie, do you have any thoughts?
As a consumer, I find managing multiple subscriptions for SVOD services to be challenging. AVOD can be great, but sometimes the ad frequency is just too much. As for FAST, I think they need more diverse and quality content.
Each model presents its own challenges. With SVOD and TVOD, ensuring consistent subscriber growth and retention can be tough. On AVOD and FAST platforms, balancing content with ads without disrupting the viewer experience is a challenge.
Content acquisition is a challenge for FAST platforms, especially premium content. Additionally, we need to improve our recommendation systems. Despite these challenges, I believe the FAST model has immense potential.
Anna, I wanted to add to my earlier point. As a user, I value not only the content on a platform, but also the user experience. That includes frictionless onboarding, intuitive self-service features, and effective customer service when I need it. For me, a platform could have amazing content, but if it's difficult to use or has poor customer service, I'm less likely to stay subscribed.
From a streaming company perspective, transitioning to FAST would mean overcoming significant hurdles, including technology infrastructure changes and a shift in our revenue model. Furthermore, the ad-based model may not be appealing to all consumers.
One of the key aspects in all these models, from SVOD to FAST, is data. User data drives personalization, content creation, and ad targeting. So, let's talk about how data is managed and shared across these different models. Katie, how do you feel about your data being used to personalize your viewing experience? Marie-Therese, as a content provider, how do you ensure that FAST distributors provide you with the necessary data, and how do you aggregate all this data? Deo, can you explain how FAST platforms handle data sharing with content owners? Suk, as a part of a streaming company, how do you approach the issue of data handling and sharing with content providers?
As a user, I appreciate when a platform uses my data to enhance my experience, but I also have concerns about privacy and how my data is being handled. Transparency about data usage is very important to me.
From a content owner perspective, data from platforms is extremely valuable for understanding our audience and shaping our content strategy. When it comes to FAST platforms, we have to ensure agreements are in place that allow us access to necessary data. As for aggregation, we have data teams who work with advanced analytics tools to analyze and make sense of this data.
In the FAST ecosystem, data sharing with content owners is done based on mutual agreements and in compliance with privacy regulations. The data shared can help content owners understand their audience better, which can be beneficial for content creation and strategy. However, it's important to mention that user privacy is always a top priority. We must strike a balance between providing valuable insights and respecting user privacy.
Our company takes data privacy and security very seriously. We only share anonymized and aggregated data with content providers, and that too under strict privacy agreements. This data aids them in understanding viewing patterns and preferences, which is valuable for content creation. However, the privacy of our users is our topmost priority, and we have robust policies in place to ensure it is never compromised.
Thank you all for your insightful comments so far. Here's my final question, and it's a bit provocative. Some argue that FAST is a step back towards traditional linear TV. Is this a response to users rejecting the SVOD model, or is the industry simply reverting to what it knows best?
From my perspective, FAST isn't a step back, it's just another option. I use both SVOD and FAST platforms depending on what I want to watch. So I don't think it's about rejecting one model over the other.
In my opinion, the resurgence of FAST doesn't signify a rejection of SVOD, but reflects the diversity of consumer preferences. As a content provider, our goal is to reach our audience wherever they are, be it SVOD, AVOD, TVOD, or FAST.
I see FAST as an evolution, not a step back. It combines the best of both worlds, the accessibility of traditional TV with the technological advantages of streaming. The growth of FAST is a testament to its acceptance by users, not necessarily a rejection of SVOD.
I agree with the general sentiment here, but I must add, FAST isn't without its challenges. While it may fill a market gap and appeal to certain audience segments, it's essentially reintroducing an ad-based model that many viewers, particularly younger demographics, have moved away from. Additionally, the absence of a direct subscription revenue can make the financial stability of FAST platforms more dependent on advertising trends, which can be volatile. Finally, the technology infrastructure required to deliver targeted ads in a seamless way is complex and can pose significant challenges. So, while there is room for FAST, I believe its broader acceptance might be more challenging than we anticipate.
Thank you all for your thoughts. As we can see, the landscape of video consumption is dynamic and continues to evolve. It's clear that the future will be shaped by a combination of user preferences, industry innovation, and the continued evolution of these models.